How gorgeous are ladybugs? Which ladybug did you choose today? This is a collective general reading for you on what Spirit needs to tell you right here, right now. So as a collective, we're all going through big healing energy. And even though this reading, you may be listening to it, recently, while I'm making it, not long after or ages later, it doesn't matter, because when you hear this message, it's for you right here and right now. So massive healing. I feel like the planets are aligning for a lot of love, and in order to feel that love, a lot of things need to be let go of, and habits need to die hard, and sometimes that hurts. And the part of us that we let go when we're shifting our vibration and healing, there might be like a grief or a sadness, and it's like when we go into that new frequency of love and we're letting go of that part of us that might be the victim mentality or the sadness or whatever that might be, there's actually a process of grief. So we're grieving that part of us. So even though we want to feel great, when we're so used to feeling a bit sad or traumatized or whatever it is that we might be holding on to, when we actually let that go, there's an aspect of grieving that. So it might feel uncomfortable while the dust settles. And I feel like that's happening a lot with the collective at the moment. So have a look at which little lady bird is standing out to you, 1, 2, or 3, and pick which one it is, but really close your eyes and then open it and be drawn instantly. Don't think too hard. When we think, we get things wrong. We feel, be pulled toward it, and you will know. And let's get to it. All right, ladybug 1, sitting on a beautiful flower. So this is what Spirit needs you to know right here, right now. Now, it is a general reading, so take what resonates, and I love all your comments below. Now, straight away, shower of abundance. This is an absolute beautiful card. Now, if you've been watching the way I do my readings and I connect, you'll know that sometimes the words stand out to me in cards and other times it's just the images, the colours, etc. Now, straight up, I get the colour purple. Now, purple for me and purple generally is a colour of healing. It's certainly a connection with Spirit. So I know that there's something that Spirit has been trying to tell you. You have been almost pushed into something that's so uncomfortable, where you have to look at a situation, a relationship, something that's come up for you. Now, 2023 is a year of truth. It's the year of every rock being turned and everything being exposed. And there's an aspect of you that's being exposed or about to be exposed. And the word exposure or exposed sounds threatening almost, but the thing is, it's not the scary, threatening type of exposure for you. It's more like an empowering enlightenment. So whatever's happening for you at the moment, know that this is not happening to you, it's happening for you, and the exposing is just you facing up to the truth. So there's an aspect here that Spirit wants to come in and let you know that whatever's happening is for you, not to you right here, right now, because it feels as though it could easily help you feel depleted and in a place of desperation. But it's absolutely not that at all, because this is the shower of abundance card. So this is a time for you to absolutely have a look at what's going on around you and reassess. Now, also, I know that there's opportunities for money that are coming at you in the near future that you wouldn't actually expect. It wasn't like, usually you get your money this way, but it feels like the normal way you get money isn't going to be some long-term thing. it'll be like you rely on that. You've relied on that before, but it's becoming unreliable. So there's a little bit of unease around income flow, money flow, abundance. But Spirit's here to say, when you look at the situation as it is, the truth of the situation and the lessons that you're being forced to see, you'll find new and in better uplifting ways to get an income stream. So don't hold too tightly on the way you've always made money. Okay, things are changing, you're changing with it. You know what I did want to do, and I'll go and grab it in a second. I've got little trinkets which I pull out occasionally, and I was called to use trinkets today. And I've just dropped all the cards, so you know what? Trinkets it is. Give me a second, I'm just going to go grab them. They're just here because I'm just doing little mini readings today. I was going to go in depth with that one, but nope, just being told to get a trinket. What is this? Huh. It's a little shell. Can you see that? So this one's a little shell. And it's time that you come out of your shell. You've been hiding behind the security of others. Behind the security of others. So I wouldn't be surprised, and this is a general reading, remember, but to some people what I'm getting is that growing up, you've had siblings that may have needed more attention than you. And it could have been for good reasons or not so good reasons. And it's like, but whatever happened, you sort of let yourself sort of, blend into the background. And in that, as an adult, you're finding it hard to step into the limelight. It's now time that you do step into the limelight because you've got a lot of ideals. You've got a lot of things that are going to shake people with your ideas because people have been around you, have been used to doing things that are just monotonous and there's no shaking it up. Yet here you come with this freshness because it's time that you step out of your shell. It's time that you step away from the background and step up because you've got a lot of interesting ideas that need to be shared. And you know what? It could be just the idea of you speaking up, which is enough. So in this energy for Lady Bird number 1, it's all about what is happening at the moment is for you, not to you. So it's like you slipping out of the darkness and out of the victim mentality and realizing the lessons that have come along here. And I'm doing this, so I know it's money related too. So the income that you've always had, it's like, there may be a job that you work at and it's like, well, but it gives me the security, it gives me the security. I know somebody said to me before, why don't you just get a job that you don't have to think about so you know how much money that you're making each week? And whether that be, a few $100s or whatever it might be, it will never be my full potential, but it will be that security of having that money. And I know in this reading that that's not good enough anymore. It's like you've just been doing it for the money. Now it's time to do it for the love, and the money will just come with it. And I know that that's a big theme around you at the moment. So that, my darling, is your reading for Ladybird number 1. All right, Ladybird number 2. Have you liked and subscribed to my channel yet? And don't forget to look at the description down below. There's some upcoming retreats, workshops, etc. that you may very well be interested in. I also have an online course. Did you know that? There's lots that I offer. All right, so I'm using a different deck for some reason for this Ladybird number 2, and one card has just thrown out. Now, I've straight away got the heart chakra. So I know that there's matters of the heart that are happening for you at the moment. And being a general reading, that can be physical, mental, spiritual. And you've got the waiting game. You've put your love on hold. You've put your love on hold. I'm going to get another card here. Your love on hold. And then you've got your third eye. Okay. All right. So there's a bit of a heart, head pull situation going for you at the moment. It's like your heart's in it, but your mind's saying no. Or then your mind says yes, and your heart's going, hell no, and shutting down. Now, be very mindful of our heart space, our heart chakra. I will be looking at some YouTube heart meditations. You know, they're so easy to do. But our heart chakra, in my training, we want the heart chakra to be going in a beautiful cylindrical way, the energy center, okay? Now, I was taught, and this is completely, you know, when you learn things in life, take what resonates with you. If something doesn't sit right, then it's not for you. And that's okay. Just move on. Because I feel like there's an aspect of you holding on to everything like you need to prove well, no, that's not right. That's not how I see it. But you know what? Put your weapons down, because it's time for your heart and head to connect and flow. And there's been something in between that's really made that hard for you. Now, when we talk about our heart space, we want it to flow beautifully like our chakras in a nice cylindrical fashion. And I was always taught that the female, we want the energy to flow in a clockwise direction, and the male, we want it to go anti-clockwise. But you know what? Times are changing, and we have all these different genders and all this type of stuff. So then how do we work the energy if someone says they're this or they say they're that? So I know that there's been something with genders that has been of topic for you lately. And I don't feel like it's sitting well with you. And again, you just sit with what you believe, and that's true to you, and that's enough. You don't have to tell people that what they think is wrong, or, you know, they have to believe what you believe. And there's this heart and head battle at the moment. So you're setting your beliefs, but so what? So is everybody else, and that's okay. You can certainly guide people, but trying to force opinions, and you may think, oh no, I don't do that, that's not me. But in this reading, and if you went for number 2, there's an aspect of that needs to be addressed here for you to flow a little bit better, because I want that beautiful heart energy to be flowing, but you've been shutting that down because it's not flowing with your thoughts, okay? Now, the thing is, you've got the waiting game, and if you have a look at this card, it's absolutely gorgeous. You've got the, whatever they call that. What's that? It's hourglass. But if you see it properly, no, sorry, you can see my ring light there, but you've got some little roots and some little green leaves. So it's happening. And when you have to sit back and wait for progress, sometimes you feel like, you know, the inactivity is debilitating and you've just got to stop, you can't move. But what this card is saying is that there's plenty happening behind the scenes. So without you having to force people to believe or not believe or that type of thing, you can actually just sit in what you believe and inspire people that way, because people were noticing around you. And this will help you with, because the next card we got was the third eye chakra, and the third eye is all about visions. The third eye is all about dreams, aspirations, and, you know, having that all-seeing ability. So I know that here the Spirit's coming in and giving you lots more downloads and lots more visions, and just that clairvoyance, which is the clear seeing. So I know that you're activating that at the moment, but I also know you've got a lot of opportunity when you get that heart space in alignment with your thoughts, with your mind. You're going to find that you'll flow much easier, and people will be easier to be around. So yeah, your real big message here is what you need to know now is to work on that heart space, work on that heart chakra, and do a lot of heart meditations. It could be simply just putting your hands on your heart and channeling white light and asking your spirit guides to come close, just for that beautiful healing as you go to sleep, or anything like that. Or even your heart space also, you know, that's your lungs and your breath. And in our lungs, emotionally and energetically, we can store grief. So you might want to have a look at perhaps past hurts that, you know, that you've been storing that you might want to address. And as you know, I'm sure that I'm an EFT practitioner, so tapping on grief is something that is very important to move that. And I've actually got a grief video that I've made. I might pop that in the comments below as well, so that you can access that to, you know, keep practicing and tapping and moving that, because that will also clear out your heart space. And I'm just going to finish now with a little trinket for you. And it is, you can't make this shit up. Of course it is. That's a heart. But if you see this heart, what's standing out to me is the fact that there's two parts. It almost looks like a Pisces type of symbol if it was the other way around. But there may be a Pisces in your life. You may be a Pisces or a water sign. But water is also emotions, which is heart space, right? So this is just confirmation that it's okay, it's safe for you to open your heart, but in order to do that, you need to work on that. You need to open up that space and know that Spirit is with you to be able to hold your hand throughout this. You're not doing it alone. You're never alone when Spirit's around. Let them in. And that is your reading for Lady Bird number 2. All right, Lady Bird number 3. Now, have you looked at all my description under this video with all my upcoming events? You may very well be interested. I have retreats, workshops, lots of different things. I've even got an online course that helps you connect. Now, straight away, my nose is itchy, so I know that Spirit's very close. Now, I feel like there's love one in Spirit that's showing up real close for you. This is like, when Spirit is close and in my face, I know that there's something happening to you that's in your face at the moment. I know that you need to realize, what do you need to realize? What are you showing me? Okay, there's confusion with this one. So Ladybird number 3, I feel like there's confusion around you having a communication breakdown, things happening around you and you're not hearing it properly. This could be from Spirit and this could be definitely from somebody that's here. But I do know that there's a loved one here, and I feel like I have a male, and I feel like it's a dad or a grandfather, or it could be someone who stepped into that. You saw them as that authority, and I know that they're very close to you, and I know that they're in Spirit, and I know they want to be part of your reading, whoever came with Ladybird number 3. And it can be grandfather, it can be uncle, but certainly male. Now, I've got the sacral chakra, which is the first one, so I know that there's some gut-wrenching emotion you're still holding on to the passing of this person. And I feel like all of a sudden I'm doing mediumship in a card type of psychic reading, but that is completely fine, because when Spirit shows up, hey, we listen. And it's time that you realize that the sun still shines. So when somebody passes that we absolutely love, part of us dies with them without a doubt. But I also say that we're here for a reason, and we need to keep living for them because they can't. I also know that nobody will understand your loss the way you do. I also know that when I grew up, I went to a funeral with my girlfriend and she didn't cry, and I was confused by that. But that's her way of grieving, because as I got older, I realized it was none of my business how she grieved. So there's an aspect around grief, which is interesting, because grief was touched upon in the second reading. So whether or not you were, you know, between 2 and 3. But there's a loss of a male. Now, you know what, as I keep going and being a general reading, I know that this could have been somebody who's actually not passed. It's just someone that you don't have in your life anymore, whether it's a relationship breakdown or somebody that you are in a relationship with, but there's no connection anymore. Now, I do know that if there's a substance abuse, there could be the aspect of, you know, them physically being there, but like empty, like a shell almost. And I know that that's the sort of energy I get here too. So it could easily, you know, it could be all these type of things, but I certainly know it's a male, and I know that I feel disconnected from them and fearful that they're no longer there because I grieve them. But Spirit's coming close to let you know that Spirit's definitely here with you to help you through this process, because you've got the sacral energy. The sacral energy is, you know, where you hold your emotions and your joy, and your joy's been blocked from the sun. You haven't, you know, allowed yourself to go out out. Now, the next card I pull is the deception and envy. So it's almost like I'm not sure the reality that you've created. And the thing is, your reality is real because it's yours, but it's not necessarily the truth, but it's your truth. So when you shift your perception around your reality, things change. So I feel as though there's been, a trust issue here, that you can't trust people with your feelings. You can't trust people with your emotions. They don't look after you and you're very much alone. Now, this very much may be just how you're feeling at the moment, or you have been recently. I don't feel like this is something that's going to happen. It's more like you're in it or you've just come out of it. But I just want to know, Spirit wants you to know that they're definitely here for you while you're going through this dark time, but know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Now there's an assertiveness card, and you can see that you can sit back here and feel like you've just been walked all over, or you can certainly just, keep stepping forward. I'm going to read these words because I don't tend to read words a lot on cards, but it says assertiveness. This situation can be healed gently and with love as you've requested. So you've already asked for help, which is phenomenal. Yet there's also a need for your strength and truthfulness with the other people involved. So there's an aspect of you being shut down and just keeping it to yourself. So there needs to be some type of communication here. We will stand right behind you as you speak your truth. Spirit's here, and I know I'm grabbing my crystal that I'm wearing. So I know crystals would be really important for you to have at the moment. Make sure you're cleansing them. You can run them under warm water, like running water. You can put them in the earth, just dig them and put them in some earth so that they ground. You can put them under the moonlight, lots of different ways. Or you can just hold them and have the intention of sending love and light, and you program your crystal and you say, give me the strength to get through, give me the strength to forgive myself, or speak my truth, or be received well, or whatever it is that you want to put out to the universe. And it says, we will stand right behind you as you speak your truth, giving you strength and guiding your words. And see how I went a bit husky then? Your words. So I know it's a big deal for you to actually start speaking. Sometimes I just speak to myself in the mirror just so I know how I'm feeling. I'm actually presenting at the Gathering of the Goddess Festival this weekend in Mount Macedon in Victoria. And I'm doing 2 workshops, and I'm like, well, how do I go about it? What are my topics and this, that, and the other? So I ended up sitting down and actually just presenting to my phone and recording me just like I am here right now. And then I could watch myself back. And then I was like, wow, I felt so like disconnected, like that was not me. I was really just talking and getting my downloads and insight. And I know that's something you can do. So maybe just, record yourself and just be vulnerable and raw and let it all out and just channel almost and just speak. And then go back and listen to it like you're watching that person with compassion and love, so that you can really receive how you're feeling, because there's a bit of confusion around what you're holding and how you're actually feeling at the moment. And I just want to finish with you with one little trinket. And you know what? I don't even know what this trinket is, but it's a little square with 4 little loops. And what I do know is that it looks as though it's been sewn or weaved tightly. So I know there's 4 aspects to whatever's going on at the moment. I know there's 4 different mindsets, 4 different perspectives even. 4 days, 4 weeks, 4 months, 4 years, 1 of 4. I know 4 is very big at the moment. I also know that knitting or darning or sewing, whether there's a hole in something, I want to fix it. And I feel like all this situation is, and that could be very much just a, I don't even know what the word is right now, but when we're tuning and channeling spirit, we actually use like a different part of our brain, because I can't use my rational words. I'm actually literally being shown. So spirit, please tell me what word I'm looking for. It starts with, Anyway, they're not giving it to me right now. But anyway, this is something that resembles something. Okay. And I know that it could be just quite symbolic for the fact that it just needs a little bit of mending. It's not broken. You don't have to throw it away. You just need to mend it, because this situation is completely fixable. Yeah, and you know what? I just want to finish with one more card for you. And I'm throwing them everywhere today. Throwing them everywhere. Yeah, and it's the disruption. So there's been like the entanglement with emotions, and this is how you have been feeling. It's certainly not going into your future, but it is something that is being addressed. And when we feel disrupted, it's hard to concentrate. It's hard to get the right words together, but know that Spirit's very close for you, and it's manageable, it's fixable, and you can actually do this. And that is your message for Ladybird number 3. Thank you very much for tuning in, beautifuls. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, all those algorithm things. And in the description, please have a look at my upcoming events, workshops, retreats. And please comment. I love it when you comment and share and all the interaction. Take care, beautifuls. Be kind to your others. Be kind to your others, but especially be kind to yourself. Peace out.